Phil Collins, All of My Life, Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Had a viewer request on this particular one, and then she was going back into my archives pretty darn far, going back to like 2014, in fact, when I wasn't even doing videos at the time, frankly. It was just a picture of three penguins kind of standing in a circle, and then it was just me doing audio. And so, I did that for the longest time. Didn't make a lot of progress as far as building the channel is concerned, but I had some fun, and it kind of helped me get this personality going, because initially it wasn't Dan Radio Style. It started off as Spirit Radio Dan Style, and then kind of morphed into this other version of what it's now become, and I like where it's at right now. We'll see. I'm always looking at possibly changing it. Anyway, that's completely off topic. What we're talking about here is getting some guidance from your higher self. Now, one of the things that's so challenging about getting guidance from our higher self, well, one of the reasons why, not challenges per se, well, yeah, I guess it all ties together. It is a challenge, and it's one of the reasons why sometimes it's a little tricky to get some guidance from our higher self. So let's take a step backwards. When we're looking at manifestation, when we're trying to manifest things, certainly like our specific person's a great example, but even trying to manifest money, manifest a car, manifest a job, manifest anything, new place to live, right? One of the problems with manifesting things is of course, right, you're imagining out from that location, from where it is. So you're imagining it to the greatest detail that you can to help bring that to you. But in that interim phase, where you're in between, while it's in process, as I like to say, we don't see anything. There's no sensory input. There's no, here it is right now. And it's why, of course, like so many of us, we get frustrated, right? We're like, well, this isn't happening. But it is. We just don't see it. So that's where the logical mind, the conscious mind, that actual thinking part of ourselves is wonderful when dealing with the world, when dealing with sensory input, when dealing with, oh my God, I'm driving my car and someone's about to bump into me. Yes, your brain, your thinking part is amazing. So yes, we definitely want to respect and love that aspect of us. But when it comes to manifestation, once you've done the imaginal work, because that's that thinker portion, you really want to get the thinker out of the way. The thinker's reacting to sensory input, and you don't have it. So it's constantly telling you you don't have what you seek. So when we get to these places where we're looking to try to get some help, try to get some assistance from our higher self, to maybe give us some guidance, to maybe say, yes, it's working out, or yes, this is a good path to take, or yes, here's maybe make some phone calls tomorrow, maybe get online, check out this location, go down to this particular center. I saw a help wanted sign, I think, the other day. Might be something down there, I got a hunch, whatever. So what the lady was asking me, the person that was requesting this video, was like, what I was talking about was getting our thinking self out of the way when we're trying to ask our higher self questions. Because again, when you're asking your higher self questions, that thinker portion will chime in. And oftentimes, most of the time, almost always, it's worthless. It's absolutely, in fact, it's damaging, because for the most part, that thinker part still is stuck on the fact that I don't see it right now. I can't see it right now. It's not here right now. It's not real. And that's crap. It's a lie. It's not true. The reality is that it's being created. It's in process right now. The fake reality is what we perceive to be right now. I did a show about Neville Goddard kind of talking about the differences, and that was his kind of take on it. I read a really crazy quote of his, and it kind of talked about the difference between accepting this reality where you don't have any sensory input, right? And you know that things are coming and it's happening, versus the reality that needs sensory input, in which case you're going to end up being frustrated or disappointed, because it's constantly going to focus on where you are right now, and where you are right now is not where you're going to be tomorrow. Where you are right now is where you are right now. And if you're traveling, if I'm heading up the 5 freeway here in the west coast of the United States, right, and I'm Southern California, and I start driving up the 5, and I'm trying to go to Sacramento, for example, right, I'm going to drive up the 5, and an hour into the trip, if I say and go, okay, where I'm at right now is basically a little past LA, I'm not ever going to get there. It's never going to happen. Never, ever, never going to get there, because right now, I'm just barely past LA, and Sacramento's like another 7 hours. You can't look at your journey that way. You can't look at the destination that you're going to and judge where you're at right now as making the destination. You're traveling. You're not there yet. You're on your way. Or in process, as I like to say. So how do we get the conscious mind out of the way while we try to maybe meditate? Maybe you're, getting into crystals. Crystals are a lot of fun. Maybe one day I'll do shows. I don't know I'm not like crazy into it. I know certain colors basically help with certain things. It's basically I match it by chakra, so I don't want to get too off pace. But, maybe you want to do a meditation and start playing with crystals. Maybe you want to try some other means to try to touch base with your higher self and just see what guidance comes through. It's actually a great practice because it teaches you to go within. It teaches you to talk to your higher self or God or universe or source or whatever you prefer to call this energy. Okay? Whatever it is, it doesn't much matter. But what helps is when you get that relationship going, when you get that connection going, you want to shut the mind up so you can actually listen, so you can actually see what happens. For those of you that have never done it, for those of you that have played with this a little bit, but sometimes the mind chatter is annoying, this will also be useful. And for those of you that are advanced, you probably already have your means and techniques, and in which case, please share in the comments below what you do. What's your technique for silencing the outer mind, the left brain part of ourselves, the logical thinking part of ourselves, the part that's constantly going, you don't have it yet. I don't know if you know, but it's not here yet. I don't know if it sounds like that to you, but sometimes a little irritating. So some of the things that I do, the one thing I do that I absolutely love, and it's something I've done since I was, probably in junior high. Like, I used to go into my room. I had a bird at the time, so I'd sit the bird on my shoulder, and I had a necklace I used to wear, and he'd chew on my necklace and just sit there, and I'd put music on my little radio, and I'd sit in front of it, and I'd play solitaire with cards. Just sit there and shuffle and play solitaire and just, listen to music and just get going. Well, solitaire for me is a great way to keep that logical part of my brain busy. It's busy. It's busy dealing with the cards. It's busy trying to figure out what's the next move. And while I'm doing and shuffling and playing, and the cards mean things to me, right? But it allows thoughts to kind of come in, or feelings or whatever, to sort of come in and not be interrogated by this part that's currently busy playing solitaire. So things can come in. I can ask questions like, so-and-so's higher self. Maybe I want to talk to my specific someone. Just be like, honey, is everything good? I don't know, I got this weird feeling. And ask the questions and start playing the solitaire and just see what comes. Who knows? Maybe nothing will come. It could happen. Doesn't mean it's not working. It's just like meditation. It takes a little practice, takes a little getting used to. It's like, like in meditation where you kind of, am I supposed to not think? Am I supposed to think? Am I supposed to not think and just let it go? Am I supposed to let it happen? Am I supposed to just focus on breathing so I don't think at all? Like, all these things get confusing to people. So when you're trying to shush the outer part, it takes a little practice and things will start to come to you. You will start getting feelings, emotions. You'll start to see images maybe. Maybe you'll see you and this person in some scenario that hasn't happened yet. Maybe you will have conversations. This happens to me frequently. It's kind of more, for me, it's more like words and sounds and voices. Like, that's just kind of how my thing is. Like, the sensory, the seeing happens from time to time, but that's not as strong in me. That's just, again, I'm like Dan RadioStyle, right? Like, I'm into the talking. I'm into the communicate. That's just my strength. That's where I'm at. That's my makeup, right? So I don't try to get bummed about the fact that I don't necessarily have visions all the time. That's just not my thing. I mean, it'd be great, yeah, but I don't. This is my area. I hear it in words. I hear it in feelings. I hear it, right? So find your approach. Solitaire is a great way to do it. Another way to keep the mind busy, doodling. Break out a piece of paper and a pen and start drawing something, Start drawing something and just ask that same question while you're drawing. Because it's keeping that logical part of you busy on the drawing. That's where it's focused. It's okay, and it's happy. It's like, nah, I like drawing. Drawing's fun. You just keep doodling. Doodle away like you're the doodler and doodle star, right? Like you are the rock star of doodlers. It's a way, again, to silence that. Chores. Very great example. A lot of people say when you truly are focused on doing your chores, you're actually doing a form of meditation. But again, it's the same concept. That part of your brain that's thinking, It's busy. It's focused on doing laundry. It's focused on folding the clothes. It's focused on vacuuming. It's focused on cleaning the kitchen, on doing dishes, whatever your thing, dusting, whatever your thing is at the time, that's a good time to, again, ask questions. Talk to the higher self of your specific person, or ask your higher self questions about, like, what kind of jobs do I really like? What am I career-wise? What's going to be good for me? What am I going to enjoy? What kind of car do I think I really need? I mean, am I going to need a four-door? Right? Ask those questions off to your higher self, and then get yourself busy in something and see what comes to you. Again, this will take some practice, but this is a very valuable approach, and it gives you a lot of power to start taking care of these questions you have internally, rather than asking someone else, rather than going outside of yourself to seek answers. And then it actually matters to get with someone that's got such a similar mindset, or such a similar belief structure, or is into law of attraction, or understands you well enough to actually give you an answer that's appropriate for you, right? Just because you're doing something that maybe seems weird to a lot of other people, well, a lot of other people are going to tell you you're crazy and you shouldn't do it. How many people out there, as a great example, are trying to get your higher self, or you're trying to manifest your specific someone, and a whole bunch of people have told you, why don't you just find someone else that's actually close? Duh. Have you never been in love? Person that just said something absurd to me? Come on. If only it was that easy. So I get it. I get trying to do that kind of thing. So again, be careful who you bring these questions to. Another example that I came up with that I'm like, wow, that actually would work. A puzzle. You could actually do a jigsaw puzzle, right? Don't be too crazy and make it like 1,000 piece. That'll just drive you insane. But even if it's like one of those like 250, 500 piece jigsaw puzzles where they're not ridiculously difficult, well, while you're looking for all the side edges, while you're looking for the parts, that's a great time to, again, ask these questions. That left brain part of you, that logical part of you, that's busy trying to make the puzzle come together. And it's happy. It's loving it. It's got a task. It's busy. It doesn't give a crap that you're asking other questions on top. No, I'm busy right now. I don't really care what you're saying. I'm not interested. That's not my problem. That's your problem. So again, these are some techniques that you can use that kind of help keep, you can't really silence, right? That keeps that part, that logical part, that part that's constantly going, it's not here yet, keeps that part busy. And when that part's busy, it allows that other part of ourselves to receive more. And it's that other part, it's that right brain part that really makes it happen. It's where that comes in. It's the key to everything. And supposedly it has more to do with the pineal gland, which is up in the brain, and it's sort of crystal-like. And there's, long story, another show that may be interesting at some point. Who knows? But again, it's kind of responsible for pulling in those energies. And that part of us is really a little more in tune with that right brain part of us. So again, these are great techniques to kind of help get answers and communicate with our higher self and really work internally on the things that are bothering us. So you're frustrated, and it's been like right up till now, all you've been able to do is maybe send an email to me or Agnes or some one weird random friend, and they don't necessarily get in touch with you nearly quick enough, or you leave a comment on a video and hope to God someone's got something wonderful to say. Well, here's another way you can get some answers for yourself. Ask these questions to your higher self. Put yourself to work, meaning keep that part busy, that left brain part, right? Put it to work, and then see what happens. Just see what happens. It is something that will take time. It is something that you will benefit from enormously, though, because as you get better and better at this, you'll actually find that you start becoming more empathic. You start feeling people more because you're starting to actually develop that extra sensory part of yourself, right? You got your five senses, right? Your sight, smell, touch, taste, and whatever the other one was, hearing. There you go, that I'm missing. All right, so you got those five. Extrasensory is essentially the higher dimensional version of those five. So there's times where you can hear things that definitely aren't there. There's times you can see things that definitely aren't there. There's times you can, well, you can't really say things that definitely aren't there, but you can feel things that definitely aren't there. So that's that extrasensory concept to it, right? Again, it's going to come in from these different angles. Takes a little practice, but it is very cool when you start to do it, and it's extremely empowering. And actually, and in all reality, it helps bring about a lot of peace because now you're finding the answers from within, and it starts to become a lot easier to believe because it's your answer. It's from you. It's not someone else sending you an answer that's gone through their filter, that now is going through your filter, that now needs to somehow be digested within you, and then that logical part can chime in and go, yeah, I don't really believe that. It doesn't help. When you've created it, the logical part's like, well, okay, I guess kind of got to get on board because you decided this. So again, it kind of helps. Hopefully this makes a difference. Hopefully I did justice to the question that I was being asked, and I pray that's the case. So we're going to be going out with a Kool and the Gang song, and it's called Cherish. It's right here on Dan Radio Style.